I was reminded that there must be two major parts to each of these videos for them to be effective. Number one is the salesmanship or encouragement for students to participate during their off-work, out-of-school time to learn the value of these approaches. And two, some nuts and bolts, possibly prescriptive how-to or cookbook implementations so a busy professional or student can more easily and quickly assess how it can help them in his or her job. The common item that we can all agree with is that we will all encounter problems every day that can't be helped. What we all need is a method to solve these problems. We need to find and correct the root cause of the problem so we don't waste time and money band-aiding symptoms of the problem, and we need to proactively, preventive approach to help us anticipate and plan for problems to keep the processes under control. This will allow us then, if they're under control, to minimize the number of problems that do occur and mitigate the effect of and immediately implement countermeasures to correct the problems that do occur. Let's explore what this takes in steps. Let's review a basic classical problem-solving hurdle first. Here are some references that will help us in this task. Tools for problem solving, Inevitable Illusions, The Power of Positive, Root Cause Problem Solving Techniques, and Ultimate Six Sigma. We all know that before we can solve a problem, we need to define and understand the problem. In teaching classical problem solving steps, referencing number one, run across students who don't want to learn problem solving skills. They don't need any help with these skills. Some even become angry if questioned or pushed. From reference two, they state that while this is alarming, it is widespread. Quote, as we shall see, even when engaged in high-level administration, in the courts, in the hospital, or in the family, we all fall prey to certain cognitive illusions. And we're deluded in complete innocence, in good faith, not even realizing that we're so misled. End of quote. Summarizing, when we try to solve a new problem, we unconsciously move it to the nearest mind tunnel, adding assumptions as we go to solve it. Does this phenomenon affect you? Here's a simple 4-question quiz to assess that. Without looking at a map, you have 4 minutes. What direction would you travel to get from Los Angeles, California to Reno, Nevada? What is the first foreign country you'd pass over if you flew straight south of Detroit, Michigan? What major U.S. city is straight north of Caracas, Venezuela? What straight line direction would you fly to get from New York, to Rome, Italy? Did you answer all the questions correctly? Are you sure? Or did you demonstrate tunnel vision? The results. After answering incorrectly all or most of these 4 questions, it is interesting to watch student reactions. Mostly they decide they may need to polish their problem-solving skills. Great! What else can a teacher hope for? An open mind, ready for some critical thinking. Oh, the answers. 20 degrees west of north, Canada, Boston, Massachusetts, and a little north of east. Now let's look at some root cause part of problem solving. What is the best approach for me? To find root causes, Lean Enterprises primarily use the 5 why questioning technique in the Ishikawa diagram, also known as cause and effect or fishbone charts. Six Sigma primarily uses design of experiment, regression analysis, and hypothesis testing tools. And Mind Tools lists 25 plus tools, some of those listed above. Other root cause consideration. Lean Enterprises low-cost management solutions require implementation of Kaizen 5S, visual management, value stream mapping, total productive maintenance, and standardized work to be effective. Six Sigma at this level requires a certified black belt. It requires many analysis tools. The black belt is part of management, or wants to be. And some U.S. managers still believe that knowing too much about the work processes is a career-limiting move. Mind tools depends upon the tool selected. With Six Sigma, Motorola documented $16 billion in savings and saved multiple production lines in the 1980s. Reference 3 says, quote, Lean Six Sigma has arguably transformed today's business environment, introducing previously unheard levels of productivity, but the line worker in a culturally diverse environment still needs relief. End of quote. If the financial rep, in the name of producibility, has the stamping process and the value stream mapping model to stamp thousands of frames at a time to lower the cost per part, that is overproduction waste, the worst waste of all. In discussing this with various people, one of my students said his company uses Six Sigma to waste money. So wait a minute, that's not what it's for. But after some clarification, turns out the results of Six Sigma studies were never added to the standard work procedures. He had a point. Discussing Six Sigma with a manager, he said, oh gee, now it's time to conduct another workless Six Sigma study. Another student had a black belt request approximately 1,000 tests to be used in his design of experiments analysis. The student asked him to explain how this data would be used and for what benefit. The black belt replied he would, but Six Sigma is black art. Lean Six Sigma does add some just do it's, TPM and VSM, that allows the line worker some input into the company's continuous improvement process. So let's explore the proactive part. Anticipate and preclude, preventive actions. Lean Enterprises uses TPM and TQM cornerstones to accomplish these proactive needs. Many U.S. companies use Lean Six Sigma with Design for Lean Six Sigma to minimize the designed-in assembly quality problems. Some say approximately 75% of all quality problems are designed in, and design of experiments to characterize and prevent process problems. Data shows U.S. companies don't see desired results with TQM, but they have Lean Six Sigma. Okay, so where's the problem? If there is one. Enter the ultimate Six Sigma approach. The author hammers both TQM and Lean Six Sigma approaches. In the first two summarized reviews of the book on Amazon.com, the first one's entitled Excellent Broad Gauge Approach to Six Sigma. If you're a business person responsible for getting the most from your most expensive element of production, the knowledge workers, you won't be disappointed with this book. The second one, entitled Blinded by Jargon, I only browsed it, the book. He disses just about every other flavor of Six Sigma out there. If you need a cookbook and love jargon, this is the book for you. But wait a minute, wasn't that one of our goals, to find a prescriptive cookbook approach to help us assess how this approach can help us in our job? And this one addresses business excellence, as well as process quality. After some preliminary analysis, we looked at it, and it may well be the Ultimate Six Sigma may become the Ultimate Six Sigma program. Following Motorola's success with Six Sigma in the 1980s, they kept asking themselves, what is the next step? How are we going to renew this? Reference 5 documents what they believe is the next step with USS. Reading the title, my first thought was, another halo for Six Sigma? Gee, isn't it fashionable enough already? However, after reading the reviews on Amazon, chapter titles, and back flyleaf, I thought this approach merited some further review. After all, Ultimate Six Sigma does recognize and include the line workers' efforts in furthering the success of the company. Yes, the author was tough on existing Six Sigma programs, but he was part of sharing Motorola's success with other companies. Many of those companies had one problem. They primarily needed to satisfy their financial reps concerned, and they didn't have any in-house quality problems to solve. Anyone out there having experience with this program? Ultimate Six Sigma and want to help in this review, we could use it. The author lists and discusses the 5 success factors in Motorola's Six Sigma implementation. Lists the 7 imaginative ways their Six Sigma process was renewed to Ultimate Six Sigma. The resulting 10 powerful tools of the 21st century. The 200 disciplines needed to implement these tools. The 12 Shannon Boat design of experiments techniques. The 10 pitfalls to avoid and notes of caution. A detailed guidance on that design of experiments. Every tool includes a self-assessment audit on effective deployment of each. Each tool includes a company best-in-class case study. And the 3-octane engines of thrust are quality, cost reduction, and cycle time. A group of both seasoned professionals and students are currently reviewing the Ultimate Six Sigma approach. We need to find a training source. Current problem, like they said, they happen every day. We have not been able to contact the author. We have not been able to find any training sessions so we can assess firsthand what is in this approach. Maybe, failing contact, we can receive a release to use this materials in its assessment guides. Questions? More review is needed, that is for sure.